NVIDIA's new neural texture compression technology should alleviate VRAM concerns. Future generations of graphics cards might not need 50 terabytes of memory after all. Some of 2023's most anticipated PC games have had their fair share of troubles. Hogwarts Legacy, The Last of Us Part 1 are just two that ran horribly on cards with insufficient VRAM. This is what's dumb. They want to blame it on a VRAM issue. They want to blame this on a VRAM issue. And I get where they're coming from, kind of, but at the same time, you're talking about games that don't run on the highest, best graphic hardware that you can buy. You're talking about games. It's not like these are running on potato graphics cards or graphics cards that are, 5 to 7 years old. We're talking about the best graphics cards in the hardware industry right now, right? Manufacturing 4000 series graphics cards and stuff that these don't play well on at all, if at all. So the difference being, like with Hogwarts Legacy, that game ran fine on console, but it ran terrible on PC. So I don't understand how you can just sit there and try to blame this on a VRAM issue and not say this is also an issue of developers not doing their job. They took the time to make sure that the game ran well on console. And then they want to blame VRAM issues for the PC side of things when PC has better hardware to run these games. Quite often, not everybody, but you can. And people absolutely have tried to run these games on better hardware than a console can provide. But the game performs terribly. So you want to talk about a VRAM issue that doesn't necessarily float well with me. Seems like a problem that's here to stay. Even if you have enough graphics memory right now, will it be enough to handle the demands of games in 1, 2, or 3 years from now? Some good news on the horizon thanks to NVIDIA. It's working on a new compression technology called neural texture compression. Like most of the tech coming out of NVIDIA these days, it's thanks to AI. According to NVIDIA, via hot hardware, the new method allows material textures to store up to 16 times more data in the same place than traditional block-based compression methods. It should allow developers to shrink the size of textures without any loss of quality. That means less need for huge amounts of graphics memory, which sounds good to me. NVIDIA claims the NTC algorithm offers superior image quality compared to modern algorithms, including AVIF and JPEG XL. NTC can make use of general-purpose GPU hardware and the tensor cores of current NVIDIA hardware and can do so in real time. AVIF and JPEG XL image compression requires dedicated hardware and isn't designed for real-time decompression. Important to emphasize that this is a nascent technology. In the conclusion of the paper, NVIDIA's researchers say, we have shown that decompression of our textures introduces only a modest timing overhead as compared to simple BCX algorithms, which executes in custom hardware, possibly making our method practical in disk and memory-constrained graphics applications. This sentence could be key. Latency is critical for gaming graphics, while the word possibly could just mean NVIDIA is playing it safe, or it may be that there's a lot of work to be done before NTC becomes practical. Here's the thing, dude. I don't accept this, really. I think that a lot of what's happening is the industry is projecting issues onto a VRAM. Is there potentially VRAM issue, lack of VRAM? Maybe, but it doesn't add up, dude. It doesn't add up that a game like Hogwarts Legacy plays absolutely fine on console, and then the PC version sucks across all hardware. Even the highest GPUs, the best GPUs in the market today could not run that game stable. Constant frame drops, constant stuttering, crashes, you name it. So you want to sit here and talk about it's a VRAM issue. Then how did the developers get that game to work fine on console, but even better hardware on the PC side of things, it was trash. That is called an optimization failure on the part of the developers, and they're projecting the issue onto something else. If you want to talk about a game that comes out that is just trash can across the board, like Jedi Survivor, and you want to try and act like it wasn't all the developers' fault, and that it's potentially also part of an issue with lack of VRAM in today's hardware, I might accept that a little bit because the game had issues all across all platforms. But you can't sit here and tell me that VRAM is the only issue behind all of this whenever the game, the games that you're bringing up as examples played fine on console hardware, but played terrible on PC hardware. That does not work. That doesn't work. So sick of this, dude. I'm sick of it all being blamed on like a hardware issue. But the developers aren't getting like the flack either. I'm not saying there might not be some issues between, what's needed to run the game optimally hardware. Maybe so. Maybe there's a lack of VRAM in some cases or whatever. But at the same time, then, why is it not being optimized in a way to not need that amount of VRAM? Why are they developing a game that needs that much VRAM if they know that there's not enough VRAM in today's hardware to run it? If that's the case, as far as I'm concerned, it all comes down to the developer doing a terrible job. They're not optimizing the game to make sure it runs and performs well on the platforms it's being released on. And I keep getting these articles that come out that project it as just a hardware issue. That's not it, dude. That's not it.